Dollar for dollar, pound for pound, Main Street is one of the most effective economic development programs ever created. Ed McMahon.
Michigan Main Street's impact is on a variety of levels. Certainly there is what you can quantify. They've produced jobs, they've produced a wealth of new businesses, both sort of launching and scaling. But I think the real litmus test of success is sort of attitudinal shift. It's the qualitative side that really Michigan Main Street has brought to the table. They've uplifted the importance of downtown in both the eyes of a local community, but certainly across the state.
Main Street program kind of speaks to my heart because it's an organization that supports both economic development and historic preservation and bringing everybody together to make downtowns the best that they can possibly be.
Our committees, although they were meeting, really were not accomplishing much. We didn't use work plans, and we really struggled overall. We really needed a market study and a market analysis done for the district. And we actually had developers who were coming to us and asking for this. So ultimately that $6,000 to $8,000 market analysis prompted us to get involved in Main Street.
Prior to Main Street, Howell was a city, a community that you kind of drove through. There really wasn't much of a need to stop other than maybe to visit your dentist or your doctor.
It was definitely hard going at first. Laura and others can tell you that the work planning process was incredibly painful, but overall it was that help and assistance and sort of the framework that really attracted us to it.
The Michigan Main Street staff has really been prevalent in leadership roles across the country. And so for many respects, the other Main Street coordinating groups look at what's happening in Michigan and try to emulate and really leverage. And so that sort of openness to one developing in here, but will be willing to share with other programs, I think is also really a highlight and a testament to their leadership, not only within the state, but throughout the country.
People have to step up, and there are so many people out there that like to be involved on the periphery, but they don't want to take responsibility for any of the administration and the development planning, things like that. So somebody's got to take a step to the forefront, and I guess I've always been that kind of person, so that's what I did. And I'm only one of a team of people who are like-minded and very supporting of our downtown community and our Main Street district.
We had to do a presentation, and here we're this, kind of crazy, artistic, weird community in the city that doesn't quite follow all the rules. But I thought we need to be extremely professional. So we're going to put on business suits, we're going to go in, we're going to do this very professional PowerPoint presentation. And thank goodness I spoke with one of the folks who was on the advisory committee who ran a nonprofit here, Nancy Finegood, ran Michigan Historic Preservation Network, and I told her about my plan. And she said, "Oh no, don't do that. You need to show the flavor of the neighborhood and show what the community is like. And you are not suits and ties, you are not PowerPoint presentations, you are none of those things." So we came in, we had, Pruce Pets was just opening at the time, and Rick and Debbie from Pruce Pets came in. Debbie had a giant parrot on her shoulder. We had a shop down here called Gone to the Dogs, and the woman who owned it, Jana, had her dog in a stroller coming in. We had one of the property owners down here singing a song that he had written about the neighborhood, about the ladies of the evening on the corner. And we came in full personality and talked about why we were a great community and why we thought this program would help us. And for some crazy reason, they let us in.
Needing to have great partners out there that are willing to be innovative and creative and sort of lead the field. Michigan Main Street has always really been there by our side to be able to do that, to pilot things within the community and really think ahead about what's coming next.
So you've got the power of all these creative minds and these volunteers who are trying really hard to bring events and programs and things that will bring people downtown for something to do, but then while they're here, they're gonna stimulate the economy, they're gonna support our local businesses, and they're just gonna have that sense of pride in downtown.
That there is a pride, a sense of ownership and pride in the success of one's downtown. that is very difficult to measure, but just as important as sort of the economic numbers that come with the success of the program.
The results of joining Niles Main Street is the continued growth of business, continued economic development, driving more people to our downtown district, and ultimately bringing more people to experience Niles and what we have to offer.
Every community may ultimately be working toward the same goal, but how people go about getting there is often very different. And at least if you can get everyone in the same room together to agree this is our goal, it helps so much. And Main Street absolutely gets you to that point.
The value and impact of Main Street really is about who's looking after downtown. So many, typical economic development organizations, they're worried about industrial parks, they're worried about all these other areas of town. It is the core operating software, so to speak, for Main Streets to have this organization that helps organize, to make sure that there's filled storefronts, that there's foot traffic because you've got great activities, you've got architectural interests by having a design committee. And then of course, all of that has to run with volunteers, because we see way too many communities who don't have enough staff. From a professional standpoint, there aren't enough city staff to actually be able to do all these sorts of activities. So it's really important of having a core Main Street group put together that can help do this from a volunteer basis. And by the way, it's so much more impressive when you have a community-driven process with Main Street as an example, where business owners are going to recruit other business owners, property owners are going to recruit other property owners. It's not just the city staff who benefit from the tax dollars doing all this stuff. It's the actual citizens and the residents of the community doing the work.
I think we hear time and time again from our communities that the networking, our directors being able to have that one-on-one connection with other directors. We just started doing a chair and vice chair meetup where they come together. We're bringing them together to learn from each other about challenges, successes that they're having. So I think it's really the networking that provides communities, along with the technical assistance that we provide our communities.
The communities can be connected with each other, and the communities can be connected to other peers across the country. So Michigan Main Street has been a proactive connector, a tremendous resource for the communities, and it's a model of collaboration that really is an example for others to follow across the country.
We continue to be one of the leading coordinating programs in the nation through the tools and resources that we're developing for communities based on that feedback that they're providing us and what they need.
The services that are provided through the national and state organizations will really help communities develop programming and things like that will benefit their community members.
The power of the Main Street program is incredible. Joining brings you into this network of like communities from all around the country, not only the state of Michigan, but all around the country, where other communities are facing the exact same issues that you might be. And it gives you that mechanism, those 4 points, all of those points work together and create this vibrant program.
It provides direction. You have great support from the National Main Street Organization, the State Main Street Organization. There's plenty of training, and in the end, make a vibrant downtown.
The community's buy-in at all levels, the municipality level, the average resident within the community, the civic groups that are within our communities, everybody just coming together and getting on the same page and seeing the betterment for their downtown and what they want to see happen.
We've worked with Michigan Main Street for the past several decades, a couple of decades in the making as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of Michigan Main Street. But one thing I am very proud of is of their strong sense of collaboration. They want to not only work with National and Main Street America, but also with the peers across the country. And so Michigan Main Street has influenced others into looking at best practices and is truly an example that we highlight across the country to other coordinating programs and communities.